Section 1, Technique Advice. Before we address any of the concepts within liquid, we will be going over a few things that we feel will help you develop into the best liquid dancer that you can be. First and foremost, it is of the utmost importance that you remember liquid is a dance. When dancing, you should use your entire body and as much of the dance floor as possible. Overlooking these aspects is in many ways ignoring the idea of dancing itself. However, the most important thing when you're doing liquid is dancing to the beat. This may be the single most overlooked aspect of the dance. As such, later in the video, we will be discussing various ways to help make your liquid look rhythmic, as well as different ways to help you dance with your liquid. One of the most common mistakes beginning liquid dancers make is in their elbow placement. Many liquid dancers have their elbows tucked firmly in their sides, which not only limits their ability to move about, but also tends to give off a very sloppy and meek illusion. This can be avoided by simply relaxing your shoulders and raising your elbows away from your sides. Speed control is also very important in enhancing the illusion further, and is especially useful when dancing to a flat 4/4 beat. Like the beats most commonly found in techno, trance, or house music. By keeping your speed constant, you in essence move exactly the same distance between bass hits. When done correctly, this causes a rhythmic effect and greatly enhances the illusion. You must, of course, be wary of changes in the music, both in tempo and tone, to maintain the illusion. Hand distancing can also play a major role in your individual style. Theoretically, your arm span is the absolute furthest you can go. However, one must remember that the further apart you spread your hands, the more difficult it is to maintain the illusion. Try experimenting with different distances at different times until you find what works best for you. Section 2, Concepts. Flow. To move or run smoothly with unbroken continuity, as in the manner characteristic of a fluid. The first and most important concept within liquid dancing is in mastering your own personal flow. Correct flow is accomplished through one of two ways, with either your dominant hand leading the other along a predetermined path, or with your dominant hand pushing the other along a predetermined path. For those of you who are ambidextrous, this does not apply. However, ambidextrous or not, it is still important that you learn to properly control your flow when it is moving in either direction. Rail. To range in a line. In order to give the illusion substance, it sometimes helps to run the illusion along rails. This is accomplished through the use of imaginary paths along which your flow can travel. These paths or rails can vary from the simple to the complex, depending on your own personal skill, taste, and imagination. Whatever type of rail you choose, make sure not to deviate from its shape too much or you will lose the illusion. It also helps to connect these rails in a repeating or looping pattern in order to create a rhythmic effect. Contouring. To make or shape the outline of a figure, body, or mass. To contour is to make your liquid run the shape of an object. The objects themselves can range from imaginary geometric shapes to actual physical objects, and on to, of course, the most commonly used object, the human body. In some respects, contours are very similar to the concept within waving known as tracing. The major difference being that tracing always involves the human body and requires a wave to take place on the point of effect. Contours, however, do not require you to wave the body part you are contouring, as the contour is the wave itself.
All right, check this out.
Build. To develop or give form to according to a plan or process. To create. Using builds is very similar to the art of miming. It involves using liquid to move imaginary objects about in space. The shape of the object you are manipulating is only limited by your imagination. When using builds, it is important to consider exactly how that object would behave. Imagine how it would look if you actually held it in your hand. Split, having been divided or separated. A break or a split is used to give liquid more dimension. By slightly misaligning your hands along a vertical plane, you'll find that your liquid can become much more versatile. Now you can pass in places that were once impossible, but be careful to maintain the illusion of a flow, especially when one hand passes over top of the other.